Hi guys, welcome back to the ArchBall podcast. It's episode 3, joined with Tom, Morgan and Callum. And today we're going to be doing our end of season predictions. So we're going to go through Premier League winners, top 4, who's going to get relegated, then player of the season, young player of the season, Champions League winners and Europa League winners. Okay, so start with champions then. Tom, who do you think is going to be champions?
Man City, big up.
Reasons being, very obvious reasons.
Which is better than everyone else. We're just so better than everyone else, to be honest.
Only cost like 100 million.
We'll rattle this one off quickly then, because Morgan, yours will be
Man City, yeah,
and Callum,
City.
Yeah, as well as mine. It's pretty clear that City are how many points clear are they, Tom?
14
after United drew. It could be 17 if we beat them tomorrow.
And we're about
three. So might be different.
Nearly 3/4 of the way through the season, aren't we? So it's likely that it's unlikely that anyone's going to catch them. So obviously they're probably most likely to win. Okay, well, let's get on to something we can actually debate then. So top 4, who's going for who? We'll start with Tom again, and we'll go around in order.
I've got United in second. That's where they are now. Yeah, I've got Chelsea in third because of just how good Tuchel's made them. And they were very, very good against Liverpool yesterday, was it? The night before, but they were very good. And then I've got Liverpool in fourth because I just think Leicester just can't. They just can't keep it up. They proved it last season. They were shooing, weren't they, really? And then just blew it straight away. So
true.
Between Leicester or Liverpool, but Liverpool surely with the players they have, it's going to come to fruition at one point, and they're going to. I think they'll come fourth. I've got United, Chelsea, and Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. Morgan, who do you think?
I think similar to Tom. I think Man United will go second, just based off the current form. They're kind of in a good position as well, but I don't think Liverpool are going to get top 4. I feel like Leicester will drop off just because based off last season, and currently they're not doing too great recently. I feel like Chelsea will get third, and then I feel like West Ham are going to creep into 4th spot. I just feel like they're I don't know. I just feel like they're going to go for it this year.
Yeah.
I think this is like the best season they've had in years on years. I feel like they're going to sneak in. They've been so good. They even City struggled to beat them as well. So it's just
they played really well against City the other day. Callum, then go on and tell us your.
So I can I will have United in second, just purely. Without calling them a one-man team, I think Bruno Fernandes will drag them to second. I think they're in a good spot if they can just sort of break this run of form where they're just drawing every game. I think they'll be fine. Chelsea in third, sort of same reason as Tom. Just they've been so good under Thomas Tuchel. Considering where they were like 9th when Lampard got sacked, and now they're third. I think they'll end up third. And then 4th, I thought about Liverpool, but I can't see it happening. I was going to go for Leicester, but I thought just the injury crisis they've had, I think Everton will do it as much as it pains me to say. I think Everton will sneak in. I think their squad's so good. Ancelotti's a brilliant manager. I think now it's all set up for them to take the last spot.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I went United to finish second, and then the next 2 spots I found quite difficult because I've been waiting for Liverpool to just flick the switch and turn it around for the past 8 games now. Just thinking, right, like now they're gonna pull out a win, but they don't seem to. If I had to put them in, I'd say they'd get 4th. Before injuries, I'd say Leicester would have been in there, but obviously Maddison's got a hip injury. I don't know how much longer he's out for, and Barnes is out for at least a month now with a knee injury. So that's 2 of their best players this season gone. And then I thought West Ham might sneak in there as well. I just thought because of their performance against City the other day, I was quite surprised how well they actually played against City. So if they're looking at the fixtures, West Ham have got some tough like games coming up. But if they play the same as they did against City, then I see them getting in. If I had to go for it, I'd probably say United, Chelsea, and then I want to say West Ham to sneak in top 4, but I reckon that could be Liverpool as well, and maybe Leicester, depending on how quick they get back to form. But I'd probably go United, Chelsea, West Ham.
I feel like with Liverpool at the moment, it's not like there's like the whole of the team seems to just not be there anymore. It feels like it's gone a bit dry and stale at the moment. Like you've seen in moments against like what do you call it? Against like Crystal Palace and like Tottenham, when they've turned on, they look like the team they were last season, but that's near enough basically been it for the whole season. Been very. It feels it's just like stale.
I feel like everything bad that could happen is happening. I mean, was it Fabinho starting with Quebec yesterday? Was, I think, centre back pairing number 19 or 20, and like Klopp said, like no side ever really has to deal with such a big injury crisis, and it's not an excuse because we have been dreadful, especially since 7-0 against Palace. We have been dreadful and don't deserve to be in the top 4. I don't think on form, and as much as I'm waiting for it to click, I'm not convinced it will click in time. Or I don't think it will click and others will fall off. I feel like you need something to change. Too late.
You need the summer to switch up a bit. I think one thing, you need to just change your style of play a little bit, because even in attack, you're just not there. If Salah doesn't score, then you don't score.
I don't think it's a style of play problem. I think we need to freshen it up, or at least have a more competitive squad. We saw when Jota was on form, all the front three were on form because he kept them on their toes. Origi doesn't do that, and now Firmino is poor, and Jota's coming back, so I'm hoping that could boost them, but I'm not convinced it will.
Yeah, that's the only way you get into top 4, I think, is if Jota then comes back and plays really well. But he's been out for a while, so it's just whether he's going to get going straight away.
He's just got to get back to it.
Yeah. Tough one to
Really
call.
with Salah and get top 4. That is criminal if he isn't playing Champions League football next year.
I know.
Yeah.
That is.
Do you think players would leave next season if they don't get top 4? I mean, obviously you've won everything. Then you sort of strive to win as a big team. You won Champions League, won Premier League. Salah and Mane aren't exactly coming into their prime. They're in their prime and arguably then moving on to Madrid or somewhere. Do you think they'll leave in the summer?
I don't think anyone will force their way out. I think the only Wijnaldum, just because his contract's up and it doesn't seem like we're going to offer him a new one, which is mental, because I think, like Klopp said it as well, he's been our most consistent player this year, and he's my pick for our player of the year outside of Salah. I don't think any of the big names will force a way out. I don't see Salah leaving. I don't see anyone leaving unless Klopp wants them gone. I don't think anyone's going to turn around and get out.
Do you not think, though, the age they are, like, what is he,
28,
29? 28, 29, one, that they're
all
going to want to be playing Champions League. They're not going to want to miss when their prime year is not in Champions League, surely.
One of them's got to go shortly.
Well, I don't think, as true as that may be, I remember when Suarez tried to force his way out, we held on to him. I don't think they'll be able to force, whether they want to or not, I'm not sure they'll be able to force a way out, and I don't think we're going to want to sell.
I think you need to keep all the Salah, though.
Salah's the most important one, obviously. Yeah. He's our best attacking player. He's probably our best player in general.
He's top goal scorer as well in the league.
He's top goal scorer in the league.
17 goals.
Yeah, the disrespect he gets is crazy because of that first season. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people will go, Salah's playing shocking, Liverpool's playing shocking. Salah's not playing brilliant. He's still top scorer.
Yeah, but it's like if Salah doesn't play well, you're not scoring goals. That's what it seems like. You've had like one shot on target in like the last few goals at Anfield or something in the last couple of games or something ridiculous like that.
But that's not a reflection on Salah. That's just a reflection on everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't turn up,
I love Firmino, but he should go, or he shouldn't start anymore at least, because he's just no part of Firmino this season can justify starting next season.
Yeah.
So
I can see you changing into a different. So I can see you losing the false 9 formation.
I think it depends what players we bring in, because if we don't bring enough players in, which with the ownership we've got isn't exactly it's not a far possibility that we're not going to change it. We won't change unless there's players that force a change, and I don't see who we're going to bring in that will force a change.
Oh, it's like you don't feel like if you don't sell anyone, you're not going to buy anyone, sort of thing.
No, I just don't think we'll buy anyone. full stop.
Even if you sold like Mane or something, you don't think you're going to buy a
I think the only
replacement?
reason they'd go is because we're signing someone, but I don't think we're going to sign anyone. I don't think we're going to look to sell anyone major. I think we've still got a good enough side to win the league. Just got to get them playing.
I'd say
like
with the starting 11 you have, but then you look at City's bench and the amount of players on there. You need to build heavily on your bench. And I mean, when you buy new players, you don't particularly always buy just to get. You don't always just go for squad depth. You want to improve on what you got and then demote those players to almost a bet kind of like that. So you almost want to go for young players that are challenging others and then build around there.
Yeah, you look at City's side. We won't justify. Our owners won't justify spending 50 million on a player that might just sit on the bench. And as much as we need the squad depth, I don't think there's a way that we're going to have a bench anywhere near as good as City's. No. But that's just sort of the ownership. I think that's just more a reflection of our ownership, not being big spenders.
All right. Okay. Right, let's move on to relegation then. Who do we think the 3 teams that are going to be relegated? Tom?
I put Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, West Brom, and I was undecided between Fulham or Newcastle. I don't know. I feel like Fulham are pretty unlucky to be where they are. They'll play obviously a lot better football than Newcastle, but I think most teams do. But I don't know. Newcastle got a lot of injuries at the moment, so if I had to choose one, I probably would put Sheffield, West Brom, and Newcastle. If I had to say 3 to go down.
Okay, Morgan, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I feel like Fulham are looking a lot better, especially attacking wise, and Newcastle kind of set up ready to lose. That's what it looks like. They don't look like they want to win the games, and especially with what St. Maxim's injured now, Wilson's injured. Can't really see them putting up much of a fight. So I feel like it'll be the exact same as Tom's going down.
Callum?
So I've gone Sheffield bottom, like 21 Prem losses. I don't think there's any way they stay up. West Brom 19th, like worst goal difference in the league, least amount of wins. And then I've gone, it is close between Fulham and Newcastle, but like you guys said, if you're waiting for Liverpool to click, sort of waiting for Newcastle to click, not and improve massively, just not get relegated. I think Fulham, whilst they've played some decent football, they draw far too often. And I'm not sure they'll stay up. I'm not convinced.
Okay. Yeah, I went Sheffield. I'm just looking. I thought because they've been pretty poor this season. They've had a couple of results recently, but they've been pretty poor. I thought they were going to be the worst team in Premier League history, but it turns out Derby only had 11 points and Sheffield have already got 14. I went Sheffield and then West Brom, and I also put Newcastle just because of Fulham are playing much better, and Newcastle are, as you said, Morgan, without Almiron, without St. Maximin and Callum Wilson as well. So without that's their 3 main attacking players, and then you're just not gonna beat anyone because they're not good enough defensively to hold out for a 1-0 by nicking a goal.
Yeah.
They rely on those players to score. So yeah, that's my.
They might nick a few points here and there, but not enough to stay up. I think they've got a bad run of games for them coming up as well.
Yeah,
it's quite
I did also look at Brighton because Brighton are level on points with Newcastle. I think at the moment, I think they're both on 36, and
it's 26.
It's 26. My bad. And when I see all these, your expected goals on Twitter and stuff, Brighton are never that good, are they?
Expected points
they get really unlucky, don't they?
Yeah.
But they never score. So I'm just thinking if that continues, then it's a possibility that they go down potentially. But I have faith that they'd probably be good enough defensively with Lewis Dunk and Ben White to do enough to stay up probably. So, and Graham Potter's I think a good enough manager to keep them up as well. So
yeah, I feel like Brighton will win a lot more games than Newcastle will till the end of the season.
Yeah, that's the way you got to look at it. Yeah.
It's more, I think Newcastle are kind of hoping that the teams below them are just going to be worse than them. That's what they're hoping for, basically.
Yeah.
What them playing well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Newcastle fans will probably want to go down just so Steve Bruce gets sacked. So I feel like.
But that is kind of the problem. But their problem is that their owner, isn't it? They need a new owner to just overhaul the not even overhaul the squad, but just add players. Because Callum Wilson isn't bad. St. Maximin's not bad if he sort of got more of an end product. He just needs. I mean, they've had the same sort of defence for the past few years. They've got Jamal Lewis now from Norwich, but you need better players all round in the team. So yeah,
on paper they shouldn't go down.
Yeah, their team is good. It is decent. It's like a mid-table side at least. Their team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think.
Huh?
I was saying I don't think it's mid-table on paper. It's poor, I think, if you look at it. They've got maybe 3 decent players going forwards, and the rest of them bang average, if not below. In my opinion.
Okay, let's move on to the next one then. Player of the year. This is one way you could argue a few different cases. So yeah, start with you again, Tom. Who do you think?
Well, you're going to think I'm being biased, but I've gone Diaz from us. Just he's a monster, and somehow he's turned John Stones into a monster as well. Whether he's to fully credit for that is up for debate, but he's just been immense, and he's changed our defence a bit like Van Dijk changed Liverpool. He's world class at the age of 23, and it's pretty worrying how good he could become. To be fair,
yeah.
So yeah, I've gone for him.
Yeah, Morgan.
Oh, do you know what? I think Ruben Dias were going to cite a different category because of his age, but I thought Jack Grealish is a good shout in there. I feel like you saw the other night when with Aston Villa without him, he really does carry the attack in that team, and I think he's got the most created chances in the league. He's been fouled the most times. I feel like he's in a very good shout to get the Player of the Year.
Okay, and Callum, what's your thoughts? Who's going to win?
No, for Bruno Fernandes, just because he's just stood out at United. He's already had 2 Players of the Month, and he's up for. It seems like he's nominated every time. He's got second in the standing for goals. I think he's been the best player in the league this year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All 4 of those are people that I've got noted down. What I think's something to touch on is it's player of the year is usually done by. There's obviously different ones, isn't there? There's like the PFA one and whatnot.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are based on. Some of them are fan votes. Some of them are journalists that do it. Some of them are media and so on.
I think you get some of the players to do them as well.
And players as well. What I am trying to talk about is in the NBA. So in basketball, what they do is they have MVP, which is most valuable player, is pretty much the same as Player of the Year. That usually you have to be on a good team to win that. Like say you could be on a really bad team and put up really good numbers, but because you're on a bad team, it's not respected as much. So with that reasoning, I mean, although Grealish is very important to Villa, by that reasoning you wouldn't give it him. So it'd be a Man City player, but then you can't ignore how important Grealish and Bruno are to their teams. So it just depends really on the writers and the journalists and the fans and whoever's opinion. So if I was to go with one, I'd probably say Diaz, just because of how important he's been. But then it could be a couple of City players. I mean, if Gundogan continues his form, he could be in it with a shout. And De Bruyne, if he puts up another few goals and assists by the end of the season, he could also be in with a shout as well. So
I think Gundogan is a very good shout. He's been very good this year.
Yes, especially since De Bruyne got injured. I mean, he had to step up, and he sort of had a more of a attacking burden on him, didn't he? But obviously to create from that same role as De Bruyne, bit different. But I think he's got 9 goals now this season, and most of them have come after Christmas. So that's a testament to him.
Okay. I just think it'll be a mega shock if Bruno doesn't get it, to be honest. With the way the media and everything is, I'd just be very, very shocked. Not saying he deserves it. Yeah, he's a quality player, but I'd be very shocked if he didn't actually get it.
I think he won't get it just based off his record against the Big Six. I feel like that's going to lead it towards someone like Diaz winning it because of his record against the Big Six.
I know, but the media and stuff don't really tend to look at that when they're giving stuff like that out. They'll just look at his overall numbers.
It's also much harder for a defender to win it.
Yeah,
That's the other thing.
Less eye-catching stats.
Yeah, but I think this year, I think thanks to Van Dijk being so good a couple of years ago, I think defenders are more recognised now, and I feel like just in general, there's more shouts for defenders to get more awards. Like obviously, Ballon d'Or always goes to Messi, Ronaldo, an attacker with good stats, but I think there should be more recognition for midfielders and defenders that are, because obviously it's important to keep clean sheets, because without them you wouldn't necessarily win every game unless you scored more goals obviously than the other team. But I think they've got 15 clean sheets or something in the league and played 24 games or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. All right. Young Player of the Year. Who have we got? I can imagine Tom's as well. Go on.
Foden.
Okay.
He's the best young player in the league by quite a stretch, depending on obviously what you class as young. But I think he's the best, and he has been the best this season by a long way as well. So I'm going for Foden.
Okay, Morgan.
I'd love to say Saka, but I feel like obviously I'm going to say Saka is my favourite, But I think because of the age thing and considering the way they do it, I think Diaz will just win it if he doesn't win Player of the Year, just because he's under the age of 24.
It's you've got to be 23 when the season starts.
So I feel like he'll win it just based off it.
Yeah, because Sterling won it. Was it last season or the season before?
Yeah, and he was 23.
Yeah. Sterling had been playing in the league for about 5 years. He'd been to a World Cup and 2 World Cups with England already, and he still won it. So I think they've got to change that one a bit. It's either got to be like your first season or you got to be under 21 or something.
I think under 21's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Callum, sorry, my bad. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say it's like there's not. If he doesn't win Player of the Year, then it's a bit hard for anyone else to be as good as he's been. That's under the age of 23 or whatever. So
yeah, okay. Go on, Callum.
Phil Foden. I do think the age limit's too high. Phil Foden's 20, so I think he's under. He's definitely classed as young, and I just think he's been phenomenal all season. So there's not really anyone else that should get it.
Okay. All right. My got Saka and Foden both up my list. I think probably Foden, because he as much as I'd argue Saka all day long, I think it's fair enough saying Foden's been Young Player of the Year. I've also put down Harvey Barnes because he is 23.
Is that old?
23. I think he might have been 22 when the season started. He's got 9 goals and 4 assists or something, which is better than both Saka and Foden. And he's still doing it, keeping a team fairly high up in the league. Obviously, they're going to drop down a bit maybe now, but I actually think he's been Leicester's best player this season. I don't think Vardy's been as good this season. Maddison's been good, but I think he's potentially been their best player. But obviously, that's going to be affected a bit now, having a month out. I think that'll probably do his case a bit of harm. So I'd probably say Foden is the number one shot for that.
That's good.
Okay, then we'll move on to European football then. Champions League. This is more difficult to predict, I think. Go on, Tom again, yeah.
I don't know. I've got Man City or Bayern Munich. I just feel like it's going to be the same again. We're going to get the quarterfinals and Guardiola will try something stupid. I don't know, put De Bruyne at left back, something stupid like that. I'd love to say us. I would love to say us. We are the best team. But it's just whether we can hold our bottle or we don't decide to just mess it about. But if I had to bet, I'd probably put Bayern Munich again.
Okay. Morgan?
To be fair, there's a few good teams. Obviously, Man City are in there, but I feel like Bayern Munich will win it. Just overall, it's hard to pinpoint like any weak points in their team. Every individual players are all brilliant, and I feel like they've won more trophies than they've lost games. It's a ridiculous stat. I mean, there's a good shout of like PSG with Pochettino coming in. He seems to make them. They look a lot better than they did under Tuchel, at least defensively sound, at least. But I think Bayern Munich are just class above everyone else really at the moment, especially in cup competitions.
Yeah. Okay. Callum, do you agree?
Yeah, it's like like they've said, Bayern are the perfect cup team, and they are just that good. I think it'll be close. It should be close if Guardiola keeps his head. in a quarter final, but apart from that, it will be Bayern.
Okay, I kind of have a feeling that City might be the ones to do it. I imagine Bayern are doing quite well. I think Leipzig are running them close in the Bundesliga this year.
They're just at a point or 2 points.
Yeah,
close.
but I just have a feeling that I don't know. City are just in a really good. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Zoom just decided it wanted to cut us out. So I'll just continue from where I was going. So I think what I was saying was I think that City are going to win it. Well, I have a feeling that they'll win it just because they're on such a good run of form, and getting De Bruyne back, getting Aguero back, although he might not be like the player he was like a year or two ago. I still think having a striker that good is going to be a pretty big asset to have in the Champions League. So I think Bayern could win it, like you three said. They've obviously got a really strong team as well. Outside shouts, if I had to go for an outside shout, I can't see Barca or Juventus winning it. And even though they got Messi and Ronaldo, their team isn't. You compare the teams to Bayern and City's. The rest of their team is nowhere near as rounded as theirs. So yeah, but I'm gonna go City. Okay. So then Europa League is the final one that we've got to talk about. Also quite hard to pinpoint who's going to win, because cup competitions you can't say who's going to be an outright winner. So Tom, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously you said competitions are harder to predict than league, but I had two down. If I just get my notes back up, I had I'm going to say Man United, but I just feel like there's the whole thing with them bottling a semi-final. I don't know whether it's because I hope they do it again or whether I think they will. But I didn't have them. I had Roma, because they've been playing well over in Italy, and I'm pretty sure Mkhitaryan's playing really well for them at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
Or Spurs as well. I think they've probably got the best team. Well, maybe because Son and Kane and whatnot going forward. Bale seems to be getting back into his playing. So probably, if I had to pick one, probably Spurs. I'd say. Don't want it to happen because I don't like Spurs, but they're probably them.
Okay, Morgan.
I physically can't
imagine
say
you're not.
Spurs are gonna
Yeah,
win.
imagine you're not picking Spurs. Yeah.
But honestly, without being biased, I just don't think. I feel like there's too much pressure around them winning a trophy because it's been so long. I know Mourinho is kind of like a master at winning trophies, but I feel like they're gonna bottle it at some point. And I think the
They won
same
the
with Man
Audi Cup.
United. Huh?
So they won the Audi Cup.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna lose the Carabao Cup. I think Man City are gonna batter them, like, just completely blow them away. But I feel like they're just gonna, at some point they're gonna bottle something. It's gonna mess it up on the day. I know Mourinho's good at winning trophies, but I don't know. And I can't see Man United. I feel like Man United are gonna bottle it in the semis again. I feel like it's gonna be like a running thing for a few years. I think, like Tom said, Roma's a very good shout. They've been very good this year. Same with Rangers, but I'm gonna back Arsenal to go all the way. Arteta's tricky Reds.
Okay, Callum.
It's tough. I'd like to say Spurs just because they've got a manager who knows how to win, and we've got Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, who are probably the best players in the competition. But Ajax as well. Ajax are a quality team, Champions League semi-final a couple of years ago. So if I had to pick one, Ajax just. But it'll be close. Either side could do it.
I kind of agree with that. I think Ajax are probably a bit slept on, just because obviously they did well in the Champions League, but they're not known as of late for winning big European cups. I don't think so. I think they're a good shout, but then is Onana still suspended because of that drugs test? So he's
Of course, yeah.
He's going to be. Imagine he's out for that if they get there. But they've still got Tadic. They've still got who else? Just these good academy developed players that have got really good team chemistry. So they could be a good shout. And Haller, who's obviously at West Ham, he's. I know. Is he in the squad?
Yeah,
no,
he's
they
loving
forgot
it.
to put him
No,
in.
he's not then. Okay.
Yeah, they forgot, didn't they?
Forget Ajax then. Forget Ajax. Like Morgan, I kind of feel like Arsenal are going to win it, even though obviously we're not been playing the best season. Controversial, I know, but I think that I don't know. it all depends on whether Thomas Partey can actually string a few
Stay
games
fit.
together without being forced into a team and being injured again. So like if he's eased back in, then I think and I think that's our priority now as well, as it will be for Spurs. I think that to get into Champions League for both of us, our most likely route is Europa League. So I think obviously Arsenal got to the final 2 years ago, lost to Chelsea. The Arsenal shout is very edgy, kind of, because it depends on a lot of ifs happening. Like if Aubameyang scores, if Partey stays fit for the rest of the season, that kind of you can't really bank on something by just saying if they do it. There's got to be a dead cert. And if you look at it, United are probably more likely to be carried by Bruno and Rashford and win it. But I think I'm gonna go Arsenal, just as a bit of a bias shout. But
Saying that, to be fair, today I
Back
saw
your boys.
the team we played last time we got to the final. Compared to it now, there's a few players that are similar, but just looking at the defense, our defense is just so much better now than it was then. I feel like as a team, we might not be performing as well, but I feel like if you look at our stats, we're predicted to score more goals and concede a lot less than we have done over the last 2 years. It's like they can see the improvement. So hopefully we just pull it through.
Yeah.
My heart wouldn't be able to take like a Man United Arsenal final. Wouldn't be able to handle it.
Arsenal Chelsea a couple of years ago was bad enough. I remember storming out the room at like 2-0 or whatever it was, and then Iwobi struck a banger in from about 40 yards, and I thought, oh my god, we're gonna make a comeback, and then I just left again, and I'm pretty sure
I feel like if it was Wenger, we would have come back.
Maybe.
I feel like it's the magic of the cup.
Yeah, potentially. Okay, right. That's what did you say, Tom?
I said the magic of a Thursday night.
Yeah. So it's that Europa League music.
We've got the Thursday night hullet, so.
Okay, that's our categories done then. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here then. Thanks guys for watching. Let us know what you'd pick in the comments, and give us some ideas of what kind of podcast you want to see. So thanks for watching. See you later.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.